So a couple of books came in from the for the GRAIL project. So I have good news and I have bad news. This is the good news. There's 10 of these babies, and they look magnificent. A lot better than I thought they'd look. Bagley still has it, man. This looks freaking beautiful. Magnificent. And all of them, I checked all of them out. I got some of them here and some of them here, packing them up. When the mares come in, they're all gonna be sent, and I'm gonna find like 5 more, and these will all be pre-screened for 9.8. I should get, I mean, we're looking for 9.8s at least, kind of like the Wolverines, right? This is not gonna be a Wolverine, I don't think, though. Venom 26 is first virus, but this isn't virus on the cover. And then I can't wait for the second print 25s to come in, because that has multiple characters on the cover that we just don't know who they are, right? And it is the first cameo of Virus also. So M Virus is on that cover as well, and the back cover, but on the cover. But this is good news. This is the good news. So I'm expecting to get good grades on those. Hopefully we'll get at least 8 9.8s. There's no reason that we shouldn't get all 10 9.8s though. This is actually the bad news, but it's engulfed with good news in a way, because it is what I kind of like what I was hoping to get, but it might be a little bit less than the grade that, you know, I was hoping to get at least a 9.4 on this, and I think we might be able to get a 9.4. But look at this. Oh man, this is a beautiful, beautiful book. That's an original cover for Marvel Tales. So this cover, we discussed it. Amazing Spider-Man 39. It's a very similar cover. They kind of took the background for Amazing Spider-Man 39. They took the Goblin and his pose, and then they just changed Spider-Man on the cover. They even left kind of like the buildings are similar to it, but this is an original cover. Sure, it's a second printing of Amazing Spider-Man 17, which is also a book against the Goblin, of course. But this book goes for very little money, man. And in a 9.4, which I was hoping that this would be, and this might still get a 9.4. We should have been able to make some money on it. However, there was a 9.4 that somebody listed for $90 something. I bought it. It was a 9.4 CGC. It has not been. It doesn't look like it's been pressed, because in the back, it just doesn't look like it's been pressed. So I bought it, and I'm gonna look at it, and I'm gonna compare it with this one when it comes in. But look at how pretty this book is, man. I mean, the spine is not. It's kind of like the other Marvel Tales. This is the spine, right? See, look at that spine, right? But see, it's got that little thing right there, which should be able to get pressed out, right? And it's not centered properly, and it's got this right here. It's almost like a spine roll right there, but it's a squared off. But look at the colors on that thing, man. I mean, this could get a 9.4. What I was hoping is to at least get a 9.4. But like, if this comes back as like an 8.5, and I mean, even though I don't think it would, look at the back too. I took it out. Back looks freaking nice on this thing, man. You know, look at the back. I mean, that's freaking white, man. It could use a little bit of a cleaning, right? But that, and then right here, that could be cleaned out and pressed out. Come on. But that's a pretty book. It's a pretty book. Why isn't this book... This is what I don't understand. That's a Silver Age book, right? And this is what I don't get about modern comics. Why is that book... Like, really, it should be... Man, and for a 1968 book with an original cover, even though it's a second printing of Amazing Spider-Man 17... that should be worth a hell of a lot more than this book in a 9.8. And yet, it's not. Even in an 8.0, this should be worth more than that. But it ain't. You know? One is because probably collectors don't know that this is an original cover. Right? And two, it's because, it's like I say, you know, the reason I'm picking moderns here... well, a couple reasons too, though. But the reason I'm picking moderns is because they move, and they move fast, right? And that's kind of like what you want to do with moderns. You wanna hit and run with moderns, right? Now some moderns are gonna hit. So this one I picked because it was the first full virus, right? But like, I want to keep a couple of these just in case. It's a 1 in 50, right? So I want to keep a couple. I actually want to keep a couple of the mares also. I might change the quantity in the GRAIL project. I know I put all 10 of them down, but I might change the quantities. And I promise you guys that if we hit big on one or a couple of these books, I'm definitely saving one and giving it to the community. All right. So I picked another book today. It's Venom 27, and it's the 1 in 100 Stegmon. I bought 4 of these, and I'm glad I bought them. Like, they sold out quick in most places that I was looking for them. I just bought them, actually. I just bought them like 30 minutes ago. Venom 27, it's a sketch variant. They don't have a cover for it right now. So it's 400. I'm taking 2 of those for the project, and I'm going to keep 2 of those. Because I believe this is going to be the first appearance, full appearance of one of those characters from the second printing of 25. Or maybe it might be a couple of those characters from the full appearance. I mean, from the second printing of Venom 25. So I don't know what their names is going to be. I don't know who they are. All right, but this, I believe, will be one of the first appearance of one of those characters. So I want to keep 2 of those. Plus, it's a 1 in 100. So if they print 100,000 of that book, there's only 1,000 of them that are going to be in the field, or in the wild, as they say. So what do you guys think, by the way? I'm interested in getting your opinions. What do you think? You've seen this book now. What do you think this book will grade as? Because if a 9.4 sold for $90-something, to me, by the way, what will this come out as? And would it be worth it getting this pressed and graded by CGC? If like if it's gonna come back as a 9.0, right? Would that be worth getting pressed and graded? And it would be a loss at that point. You know, I think I can sell a 9. See, a lot of these sellers, they don't know how to word the listing. Like, I would word the listing for this for this book as original cover, That's the way you should word it. You know, that has to be in that listing, original cover, so that the bidder can know. You know, it's Spider-Man, so it's gonna get views. But I think I can get, if it's a 9.4, I think I can get at least 150 for it. If it's a 9.6, we can get over 200 on this easy. It will not be a 9.8, will not. But will it be a 9.6 with that? I don't think so. We might be able to get a 9.4. That's not out of the question. But I might just have to sell this raw, and I think I can get some money out of it raw, maybe, and at least declare a somewhat victory, because we paid for that book $47.13. If I can sell it for $75, we can make a little bit of money and be on the black. So this is a book that I've been buying lately. Now, because of COVID and everything, the way that you really want to hunt is you want to have the book in your hand, but there's no flea markets to go to. There's no conventions, even local conventions that I like to frequent to go to. So, I mean, you can go to comic book shops and stuff, but I just don't have the time right now to like go to comic book shops that are like 20-30 miles away from me anymore. So what I've been doing is just finding books on eBay. Now, this is one book that it was listed as near mint. I'm collecting this book. I'm trying to pick up as many copies of this book as possible, but I don't find them at 9.8. And this is a book that I would definitely get in a 9.8 because it's cheap. Nobody's talking about this book. This is the first Annihilators. These are the true Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you're gonna have Guardians, the actual Guardians of the Galaxy, that's who you want right there. You want the Silver Surfer. You want this guy right there, that Mohawk. You want him. You want Beta Ray Bill. Ronan. I mean, Ronan is the weakling out of the bunch. You got Icon there, and you got Quasar. That's heavy hitters, man. Those are kind of guys that might be able to take this guy down, maybe. But the problem with buying on eBay is, look at this. Look at that. Now you're gonna tell me that's near mint. I might be able to press out, but that right there is color breaking. That's color breaking for a fact. It could still make it. See, look at that right there. See, with a good press, it could still be maybe a 9.2. Is it worth pressing and just holding for a long time? This might even become my actual copy is probably better than this. But this book is actually a pretty rare book. I'm just gonna look for it in a 9.8 and buy it in a 9.8 and stop the hunt, you know. But anyway, I want to stress this. And I probably should do this in every video, and I'm gonna try to do it in every video. Really, this is not the way that I would want anybody that I love to collect. This is not the way to collect. Now, that's not saying that these books aren't going to go anywhere. That's not saying that at all. This is the first full appearance of a character but we don't know if that character is going to be a major character or not. You might not know if this book is a keeper for another few years, but you don't go out and get 10 of these. Now, I've been doing this for a very long time, guys, so I'm not going to say that I guess maybe I am insinuating that I have experience, but it doesn't really mean much if this guy doesn't hit, you know. I think I have a good feel for the market, and the market right now is really in the hands of Cates and Tynan. right? Because they're the two probably best writers out there, you know, or two of the top 5. When we see maybe even two of the top 3, maybe even, right? But I'm putting my hands on them. This is for a project, so these are books that I'm planning on hitting and running. Really, you know, they're hot right now. This is 1 in 50 variant, and I'm hopefully we'll get good grades and we'll hit and run. And this is a book that I might just keep 2 and give 1 to the community if it hits, right? So but that's the idea of doing this, and only because I can't go to local conventions and I can't go to flea markets because they're not open. I would like to hold this book in my hand, right? If I would have held this book in my hand and then opened it up and saw that, I wouldn't have purchased it. I wouldn't have, you know. I would have probably offered the guy like $1.50. You know, it's a free book. I'll take a 9.2 on that. I'll take a 9.2 on that, and you know, hold it for the long run. But you know, I these are probably bad buys. I mean, I didn't pay much for that anyway, like $10. But still, I probably would have paid like $1.50 for it. That still might not be that bad of a deal for $10, but I still gotta press it. So when you send it in, you know, it's gonna cost what, $33. That's what we're figuring, right? That the pressing and slabbing costs. So is that really worth it? Not right now for that book. It might be worth that when the Annihilators show up. So once the Annihilators show up, because like I said, no one's talking about the Annihilators, nobody, and they shouldn't be, because it's going to be a long time before you see the Annihilators in a movie. They got to show the Silver Surfer first, but he's coming. Surfer's coming, and the cosmic world is coming too. And you have not seen the last of this guy right there. There's no freaking way. You don't get rid of Thanos like that. You don't. You never get rid of Thanos. Thanos is just a classic character, and he will live on. And Warlock is going to be coming with them too. But anyway, this is not the way to collect, guys. So this is, just get it out of your head. The best way, hold the book in your hand. You know what the book is worth. Try to get a good deal out of it, and calculate whether it's good to slab it or not. But I'm taking a lot of chances. There's a lot of gambling going on with this list. There's a lot of gambling. So there's some books that are gonna hit. I'm pretty confident some of these books are gonna hit big. Like that book right there, that book's gonna hit big. One day that book is gonna be a big book to have. It's a Polish book that you're not going to see much of the Witcher comics. You know, the Witcher comics, I've said it before, you're going to get numbers on that book that are graded. Now, I'm saying the numbers that are going to be on CGC, in my opinion, are going to be late Golden Age type numbers. And as far as graded, total graded is what I'm talking about. As far as grades, you're going to be looking at Silver Age type grades and percentages. And this is a modern book of 1993. And why is that? It's because no one, I don't think, cared that much about condition in Poland. I don't think so. Yeah, I found a couple of really good looking ones and stuff. They're very hard and few to find. As far as the rest of the list, most of them are variants except for this one, and that's not going for much, right? But this again is just trying to find things that we can flip fast. Maybe we can, keep a couple, because the truth is that you want to get what you paid for first, and then you reap the rewards, right? So if you can, especially when you're hitting fast, Anyway, I think this one right here, I mean, it's the most expensive one, but it's 1 in 100. We'll see what they do with those characters, and I'm hoping he brings back the Hobgoblin. So one of these characters is either going to be the Hobgoblin or Jack-O-Lantern because of the pumpkin bomb. I hate Jack-O-Lantern. Can't stand the freaking guy. Never liked him when he was in here. But I'm hoping to see the Hobgoblin. Hoping to see him. By the way, though, I mean, just the way that the comics are going, I might just go and get some Jack-O-Lantern first appearances and see if it's, because more than likely it's going to be Jack-O-Lantern instead of the Hobgoblin. But I would sell those, though, because I have no affiliation to that character. I don't like him, period. So I would definitely sell it when he gets hot. And that's the only thing I would do with that character. Anyway, hope you guys like this, guys. Later.